Hi everybody, Holly Love here from Planet Girl, Costa Rica. So this is a Flow 44 sequence that I have created. The idea behind the sequence is that it works with repetition. So repetition is really good if you are a Vata, like I am, air element. We do really well with structure. Anyone that's experiencing moving through like a big situation that has anxiety or worry can also benefit from doing repetition. Our physical bodies also benefit by seeing the result of a practice that we do over and over. Okay, so we are going to work through 44 postures that will be the same all the time. The purpose of today's class is to get you familiar with the postures. Okay, so the first posture is child's pose. So let's do this. Bringing your big toes together, knees wide or not. Your knees don't have to be super, super wide. Bring them to your comfort, okay? When it comes to knees, anytime throughout this sequence, you never want to have pain or pulling, okay? When you're standing, you don't want to have pressure on your knees either. When we're on our knees, obviously we feel pressure, okay? So child's pose, go for a really active child's pose. If your shoulders feel okay, go ahead and stretch your arms forward. Bring your forehead to the floor and connect to your Ujjayi breath. Taking a moment to really ground in your child's pose. You can start to rock your forehead into the floor. Notice what thoughts are present in your thinking mind. Just allow whatever thoughts you have to soften, release, and let go as you drop into your Ujjayi breath. So deep inhales done through your nose, creating a slight audible sound with a bit of a constriction with the back of your throat. Becoming present with your breath, with your physical body, leaving the rest behind. Okay, with your next inhale, look up here. Walk your hands all the way over to your left side. Big stretch. Bring your right temple down to the floor. Start to drop your right armpit down. Feel a stretch through the whole right side of your body. Inhale back to center. Take one round of your Ujjayi breath here. Feel the difference from side to side. With your next inhale, walk your hands all the way over to your right, placing your left temple down. Big breath into your left side body. Inhale back to center, rise up onto all fours, like so. You can place your knees underneath your hips. Hands can go a little bit in front of your shoulders. Okay, they don't have to be directly underneath. They can be a little bit in front, okay? Bringing your hands a little in front of your shoulders is going to decrease the pressure on your wrists, okay? Deep breath in, lift your head up and forward, tailbone up and back. Feel a stretch through your whole front body. And as you exhale, push the ground away from you. Really tough grounding your nose towards your belly button. Feel a stretch through your shoulder blades. Flowing with your Ujjayi breath as your guide. Big breath in. Full breath out. Continue to move through your cat-cow. Remembering that the first principle of all yoga is ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-harm, which translates to taking care of yourself, being mindful, If something doesn't feel right, even though I say it, don't do it. And if you have questions, please reach out and ask. A few more rounds of your cat-cow. Next exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your head go, root your hands down into the floor. If you don't know what that means, look up here. I want to see your index finger knuckle mound, okay? This one right here, really pushing down into the floor, okay? And then your fingertips grip in, so you have like a yoga claw, okay? Ensure your pointer fingers are facing forward. This will bring a slight external rotation to your humerus bone, this bone here, which will help keep your shoulders and collarbones wide, okay? So paddle out your down dog. Follow your breath. As you exhale, drop one heel down. Inhale, lift both heels high. Exhale, drop your opposite heel down. And continue to paddle out your downward dog. Letting your neck soften. Oh, this feels so good. Go ahead and take a big step up to your hands for ragdoll, hanging upside down. You can fold your arms, let your arms hang. Soften your knees, be mindful of your low back. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And start to sway your torso, releasing all the tension through your back body. Okay, bend your knees. If it feels okay on your low back, draw your belly button up and slowly round up vertebrae by vertebrae. If that doesn't feel good, just come up with your back muscles engaged. Good, once you're at standing, oh, this will feel so glorious. I love yoga. And start to roll your shoulders. Bring your shoulders all the way up by your ears. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together and let your arms drop long and wide. A couple more. Only time you'll ever hear me tell you to draw your shoulders up to your ears. Okay, standing pranayama. Make sure your feet are hip width apart or wider, whatever's comfortable. You don't want to get right together because you get a little wiggly and wobbly. Okay, so feet hip width or wider. This pranayama is called around the world. Okay, so as you inhale, you're going to bend your knees a little bit, reach your arms all the way up, get as big as possible. Inhale, 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 inhale. The top of your inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes. And as you exhale, good. That's one round. Inhale, reach up, up, up. Up, up, up. Continue with your breath. Inhale, up, up, up. Get as big as you can. Get tall, tall, tall. And coming to standing. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. So typically in the sequence, we do that pranayama for 5 minutes. Today we're demoing. Okay, so we can pause there. And you'll move into your sun salutations, or we will, seeing I'm doing it with you. All right, so Tadasana. Softening your knees, connecting to the natural curves of your spine, belly draws in. So if you imagine flashlights shining at your sit bones or shining down, you don't want to have them shining that way, or tucking your pelvis, shining them toward the front, okay? Shoulders are wide, collarbones are wide, hands are engaged. Grow tall through the top of your head. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. High push up, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Paddle out your feet. Now, you don't want to feel your up dog in your low back. If you feel that, you need to engage your core more and your thighs more, all right? Deep breath in. Long breath out, bend your knees, unload the spring, walk or float to your hands, halfway lift. Bow forward. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Urdhva means up, hastas are your hands. And Tadasana. That's one sun salutation. The sequence has 3, okay? So let's do 2 more, continuous. Reach up, breathe in. Fold forward, Uttanasana, breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, inhale. And Chaturanga Dandasana, 1 full complete breath out. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Paddle it out, let your head go. Inhale, load your spring. Exhale, walk or float to your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Urdhva Hastasana. And keep it going, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, high to low. Upward dog. Don't rush your chaturanga. Take the whole exhale, okay? And downward facing dog. Paddle your feet, move your body. Feel your breath, feel the heat building. Okay, walk or float to your hands, halfway lift. Bow forward. Inhale, reach up. And Tadasana. Next, sequence Sun B. Starting off in your chair pose. Same thing here. Sit bones to the floor. Don't let your bum stick way out and don't tuck. Neutral pelvis. Bowl of water, you don't want it spilling, okay? Arms are up. Any shoulder stuff, modify. Like this, like this. Then start to take the weight back in your heels. Wiggle your toes, sit a little lower. 3 Sun Bs. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. Let's keep the hips on one track with the crescent, okay? And chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Left foot through, crescent. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Take some time in your down dog to paddle out your feet. Open up your mouth, rock your bottom jaw from side to side. Remember, at any time if you need to rest, child's pose is your friend. Unless you're teaching and you have to talk. All right, let's take it into walking or float to your hands, halfway lift. Bow forward, right into chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, deep breath in. High to low, full breath out. Upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot, crescent lunge. And exhale, take it down, high to low. If you want to bail on the low, just hold the high. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left foot, crescent lunge, reach up. Take it down high to low or just high. Upward dog. And downward facing dog. Paddle at your feet, shake your head. Take a sigh out. Walk or float to your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach up. Interlace your fingers and rest your head in your hands. Okay, separate your feet to hip width. Standing back bend, work your pelvis forward and go back, back, back. Engage your glutes. Let your throat soften. Go back, go back, go back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, Tadasana. All right, moving into your magnetic wrists. Wrists are probably a little bit tender right now. I know mine are. So you'll hold your wrists together. Imagine that you're wearing, that was a warm up, obviously. Imagine that you're wearing magnetic bracelets, okay? And you want to roll, your wrists don't come apart. You roll your wrists like this. Wonderful. After those chaturangas. Good, wrists don't come apart. Opposite direction. Kind of a cool wrist exercise. Warming up, releasing the tension. Okay, one more in the opposite direction. Play around with the contraction and expansion of your fingers. Last one's opposite direction. Oh, feels so good to move, huh? Okay, back up. Well, you don't have to sit to do that. You should be standing. Okay, so into balancing. First posture is your dancer's pose, Ustrasana. No, not Trikonasana. Another asana. So right hand up. I love the way Bikram details this in his script. Hold your hand like you're up, like you're holding a tray. Drop it down without changing the direction of your wrist. Pick up your foot from the inside edge. Okay, I'm going to demo that a little closer. So the tray, drop it down. Pick up your foot from the inside edge. Okay, so if you're like this, you have the whole range of motion of your shoulder, right? If you go like this, and then you're kicking your hand back, look what happens. Oh, it gets stuck. You have to have that external rotation to be able to go up, 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 okay? So let's do this. Dancer's pose, hold your tray, drop it down, knees together, left arm is up. Ujjayi breath, focusing on something in front of you that's not moving. And just start to gently kick your foot back into your hand gently, reaching your arm forward. Good. You might see your foot come above your head, holding for 5. Ujjayi breath, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release to your Tadasana. Roll your shoulders. Okay, other side. Left arm out. Drop it down without changing the direction. Pick up your foot from the inside edge. Arm is up. Start your dancers. Connecting to your Ujjayi breath. Making sure your left hip is down. Holding for your 5 counts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Pick up your right foot, Warrior 3. So full version is this. If you need to modify, that's a lot of weight on your shoulders. Hands can come to Anjali Mudra. Ujjayi breath. Okay, take your hands to your standing legs, slide it down for your standing split. If you need to modify, bring your fingers to the floor or use your blocks. Okay, if you have blocks, remove them. Hands flattened, step back to your plank pose. Okay. Holding this in the sequence for 1 minute. Let's just do a few breaths. Get really strong in your fingers. Remember your energetic principles. Pretend your hands are glued to the floor and you want to pull your hands apart. Feel your outer arms fire up. Then pull your hands together. Feel your inner arms fire up. Not too sure how long this is, but go for a few more breaths. Deep breath in and downward dog. Paddle it out, shake your head. Load your spring, walk or float to your hands. Halfway lift. Pull forward. Urdhva Hastasana, hands up, left leg goes up into your warrior 3. Full version or modifying for your shoulders. Even an airplane, whatever feels good for you. Remember, it's more important on how your postures feel versus what they look like. Take it into your standing split. So you can start to gently draw your forehead toward your standing ankle and lift your left leg up, up, up. Good, big step back for your second 1 minute hold. Just a couple breaths today. And you're going to lower all the way down to your belly or Advasana. Adva means prone or face down, okay? So you'll bring your right temple or your right ear, depending on the flexibility of your neck, to the floor. Right arm will come out beside you. These blocks, okay? And you're gonna roll over your shoulder for your broken wing. Your top leg can bend. Your top arm can push against the floor or wrap around your low back, maybe eventually binding with your other hand. And don't look over at your screen because I cannot do that yet. Few breaths. Really opening up your shoulders a little more. Okay, passing through center to switch sides. Okay, release. You can bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. This is a gentle release for your low back. Okay, we're going to go into locust pose. So stretch your feet out, or stretch your legs out as far as they go. Few different options, okay? Let's take the fingertips really wide today. Easy on your neck. You don't want to lift your head up too much and crunch your neck. I always like to say, pretend you have an eye in the back of your neck and you want to keep it open, okay? So that brings my eyes to about a foot in front of my mat. With inhale, lift everything up. Maybe your hands lift up as well. Ujjayi breath. One more inhale, lift up, up, up. And exhale, slowly release. You can bring your forehead to your hands or one temple to the floor. Take a sigh, bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs. Place your feet back down. Now, in the sequence, we do 3 of those, okay? So for today, let's do one more for today, okay? Options, you can keep your hands at your sides. You can do Superman or Superwoman, arms out in front to the side, or you can interlace your fingers at your low back and lift everything up, so go for it. Be with your Ujjayi breath, breath and body connection. Holding for 5 counts, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Bring your opposite temple or ear to the floor. Bend your knees, windshield wiper. Good. Release your feet to the floor. Either toes are untucked or tucked. Take an upward facing dog. And land on your knees for puppy pose. So deepening the heart opening here, okay? So remember, puppy pose, I'll do it this way. You keep your hips over top of your knees, and then you reach your arms forward, 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 forehead comes down, or chin. It's a bit of a squisher, a face squisher if your forehead is down. If your chin is down, you need to be able to breathe your Ujjayi breath, okay? So go ahead and settle into your puppy pose. Feel the stretch across your chest. Okay, come back up onto all fours. And then up to your knees for camel pose. Here we're at Ustrasana. I said Ustrasana earlier by accident. So camel pose is a really deep heart opener. So what you have to be mindful of in your heart openers is that you're tucking your pelvis. Your glutes are fiery, pushing your pelvis forward to support your low back, right? You want to go back like you're bending over a giant beach ball behind you. Your toes can be tucked under like this or flat, okay? Now there's no have tos. I like to widen my knees just a little bit. You can't go too wide because that compresses your sacrum. So we do 3 rounds of camel pose. Okay, you could do a half camel, which looks like this. I love half camels. You can plant one hand. This is my right hand on my right heel. Left arm comes behind me. I let my head rest into my hand and continuously work my hips forward, thighs forward. I'm relaxing my head into my hand, opening my left elbow up. Good, slowly rise up. Always do an easy pose in between, okay? Easy pose, Sukhasana, there's 2 versions. One is kneeling, one is cross-legged. Come to kneeling. Let your body neutralize. Feel the difference from side to side. Okay, go ahead and reach your palms to your knees. Seated cat-cow. Feels so good. I was just at the beach. There's a surf competition, super crowded. All the shade spots are taken. So Krista and I were crouched underneath this tree, legit in seated fetal position like this the whole time. So moving feels good. Okay, second camel. I like to keep my toes tucked under. My chest is really tight. If you want to keep them flat, totally up to you. So I'm going to take my left arm up and back, plant my hand. Right hand comes behind my head. I'm pushing my pelvis toward you, thighs toward you, and letting my head fall back. There's no tension in my neck. That's why I can talk and breathe and do this pose at the same time. I'm feeling my right elbow open. Ujjayi breath right into my upper back, in front of my chest, my shoulder blades. Engage your core to rise up into your Sukhasana. Roll your shoulders, your ears from side to side. Do a half neck roll. Good. Ready for full camel. Again, there's no have to's. Full camel can look like this. Look at this. Full camel. This could be my full camel today. Something for full camel. I like to roll the top of my mat over. A little tense on the knees sometimes. Okay, so full camel, work your pelvis forward, glutes are turned on, okay? Pelvis forward, forward, forward. Shoulders drop back, back, back. If you can create a little pillow with your traps and let your head rest down and still breathe your Ujjayi breath, go for it. Otherwise, keep your chin tucked like me. And you can slowly walk your hands down back of your thighs. And if you can get your ankles without leaning back, you can reach for your ankles, continuously drawing your chest forward, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Easy pose. Now, sometimes there's a tendency, we talked about this in yoga teacher training this morning, to do those opposite way postures, counter postures, not opposite way postures, counter postures. And the spine, we have to remember the spine, it contains our whole nervous system. So we always want to neutralize first, yeah? So neutralize is easy pose. Then we can get into some cat-cow. Then we can get into downward facing dog. Yay! Ground your hands, paddle out, take your time, enjoy the movement. Should feel pretty good in the low back, in your low back. Okay, go ahead and float your right leg up, step it through, rise up for your crescent lunge, okay? Love the crescent lunge, hips can face forward, knee is safe, back heel is up, everything faces forward, okay? Bring your hands to your heart, empty all your air out, squeeze your belly to your spine, and gently place your elbow on top of your front thigh. Left elbow, right thigh. Now you're not giving yourself a chiropractic adjustment. Wherever you land, stay there. Focus on pulling your mat apart with your feet and engaging your core, twisting with your exhales from your core. That's different than your bone strength. Okay, next inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. And exhale to your warrior 2. Okay, so now your back hip opens, your hip bone, knee, and toes are all in one line. Strong warrior 2. Start to bend in your front leg. Bend, 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 reaching for the floor. Boom, half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. You can use a block here if you want on your bottom hand. Okay, now you're slowly going to return to warrior 2 and spin to the back side of your mat into your crescent lunge. You can still hear me. Hands to heart. Right elbow to your left thigh. Use your core strength. Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. Start to bend into your front leg a little more, pivot your arms, and then slow motion, half moon pose. Remember, use your block. You can hover your bottom hand if you like, lift your top leg up, up, up. Okay, slowly, slow motion, return to your warrior two. That's kind of fun. Now spin both sets of toes to the side of your mat. Interlace your fingers behind you. Big extension with the chest. Inhale. Exhale, soften your knees, fold forward, and rinse your shoulders. I should be using a strap here, but we'll breathe through it. Breathe into your shoulder rinse. Good, inhale, rise back up, soften your knees, don't bust out a hamstring. Good, now face your right foot forward, coming back into your warrior two. Okay, straighten your front leg, hinge forward for Trikonasana triangle pose. You can let your pelvis neutralize, meaning you're not forcing it anywhere. What you're doing is working on your arms, working on taking your upper arm bone, your left arm bone back. And now you can try your triangle arm balance. So widen your stance. You can see in the mirror my left foot scooching back. Take your right hand off of your mat onto your floor. Go ahead and pick up your front foot. Face it toward the front of your space and peek through the little window. Hello. Triangle arm balance. Ujjayi breath. You place your foot back down. Walk it to the same side, wide-legged forward fold. You can do your shoulder rinse. You can just hang upside down here. Oh, love these inversions. You can take a Skandasana, which are some alternate knee bends, any variation. I don't do the full squat for my knees, right? Okay, and now you're gonna face your back side of your mat, coming into warrior two. Whenever you rise up, use your core, yeah? Straighten your front leg, reach forward, Trikonasana, triangle pose, upper arm, right arm now is drawing back. Okay, widen your stance, drop your left arm down, pick up your foot, peek through the little window for your arm balance. Place your arm back down, and same side of your mat, wide-legged forward fold. Good, now you're gonna get into some supported Skandasana. So supported, I'm using my hands. Full version, if your knees feel okay, you can hold your hands to Anjali, okay? Otherwise, crawl it over like me. Exhale, deep into the stretch. Inhale to switch. Exhale, inhale to switch. Exhale, hold here. And you're going to, as gracefully as possible, drop down onto your sit bones for Janusarasana, single leg stretch. So take a little twist so your belly button faces your right big toe. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bow forward. Never forcing the stretch. Remember, there's no cash prize if you get your foot. This took me years to do. And actually, it was less about my flexibility and more about aligning my femur bone into my hip socket, strengthening my glutes. Then I could do the stretch, okay? Think about paralleling your shoulders. They're in one line, couple of breaths. Good, inhale, walk it back up and switch sides. Left leg out, right leg in, take a little twist. Inhale, reach up, and down you go. All right, both legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Inhale, reach up, then exhale, bow. Look forward, reach forward, inhale all the way up. Exhale around the world. Good. Navasana, boat pose. So for Navasana, this is all about core, deep core. If it's challenging, you can hold the backs of your thighs, okay? Otherwise, start to lift your heels, point your toes, and reach your arms up. I'm just separating my feet so you can see me here. But otherwise, you can push the inner arches of your feet together and even start to fan your toes apart. Strong hands. And for fun, draw your heels towards your glutes and hop back up for your chair pose, with or without your hands. Whew. First time I did that, I lost my footing and smashed into the studio wall behind me. Thankfully, I didn't leave a body imprint. So your chair pose, sometimes you use your hands, it's fine. Or all the time you use your hands, it's fine. Feel your quads, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. High to low, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog. Remember, it's okay to drop to your knees. Downward facing dog. Right leg forward, low lunge. So back leg comes down. If you need some extra padding for your knee, you can fold your mat over, okay? So you're gonna bring both hands to the inside edge of your front foot, like mine. And breathe into your left hip flexors, right side of your pelvis. Few breaths. If you want to come down to your elbows, you can. Let your head go. Now watch this. If you want to deepen the stretch, lift your toes up and then let your leg fall open. Toes stay in line with the same direction as your knee. And take a few little wiggles. You rise up, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up, and then step your right leg back for downward dog. Paddle it out. You bring your left leg forward for your low lunge. Again, hands are on the inside edge of your front foot. You can stay upright, let your head go, lift your toes, spin your leg open, and or come down to your forearms. Few more breaths. Relax your hands, neck, face, jaw, throat. Okay, on this side, tuck your toes under. You're gonna step your right foot up for your Malasana Yogi squat. Now, if you can't get your heels down, they're up like this, no problem, okay? If you can get your heels down, great. If you need to use a block, use a block, okay? Actually, I usually don't feel the need to use a block, and I just did to demo for you, and it feels so good. Yeah, so you want to open your elbows up. At the same time, try to squeeze your elbows with your knees, with your legs. Really nice. And you can release your Malasana, coming into seated pose, Sukhasana, cross-legged. This hurts your knees. Even if it doesn't hurt your knees, even if it's just not comfortable for your ankles or your hip flexors, block up your legs. This is so comfortable. I always like to lift my pelvis up to get connected to my sit bones. So this is your meditation and pranayama practice. So start to sit tall and release the control of your breath. If it feels good for you, you can close your eyes. If not, keep them open and focused on something in front of you that's not moving. Go ahead and turn your palms upward, opening to receive. If you'd like to take a Hasta Mudra, which is a hand position, you can. The common one is bringing your pointer finger and thumbs together and extending your other 3 fingers on each hand, Gaya Mudra. It increases meditation and concentration. In the sequence, we have a no longer than a 2-minute meditation. So just start to connect to your experience, either internal, if you have your eyes closed, or external, if you have your eyes open. Remember, there's no have to, there's no wrong or right. Start to feel the natural flow of your breath. Notice how your breath breathes your body without you even having to think about it. Connect to the miracle of that. It's quite miraculous. Connect to the miracle of you. But if you don't think I am speaking to you, I'm especially speaking to you. You are a miracle. In your cleansing breath is a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh out. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh out. So you'll continue with this breath, typically for 3 minutes. We're just going to do for a few more for today. Always with pranayama, if you get dizzy, open up your eyes, touch the floor, connect to your natural breath, ground yourself, and resume the pranayama once the dizziness subsides. Simply feel your breath. Cool air in through your nose, warm air out through your mouth. One more big breath in. Long ha, sigh out. Softly close your lips together, relax your tongue, relax your jaw, and resume your Ujjayi breath. Right, time for some fun. You can come into your scale pose or Talasana. So if you need your blocks, use your blocks, okay? So what you're gonna do is plant your hands down on your blocks for the floor, and you're gonna lift your pelvis up and then lift your legs up and hold, and then come down, okay? So let's do that. Push down, lift your seat, lift your feet, and come down, okay? With or without blocks. One more time. Lift, lift. Good. Into your wide-legged forward fold. So you can face one side of your mat to ground your heels a little bit, okay? Sit nice and tall. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow forward. Getting a big stretch to your inner thighs. You're growing your pelvis. Let your head go. If you want to take a block and let your forehead come down, go for it. It feels so good. Ujjayi breath. Melt down a little bit more. Go ahead and rise up. And I put Firefly in this sequence, which is kind of fun. So to prep for that, you want to bring one leg up, okay? And let's do a little rock the baby here. Okay, drawing your knee as close to your chest as you can. Little glute opener, drop down onto your left elbow, lift your right leg up, roll around, feels so good. On your left glutes. Okay, then pause and bring your knee as high up onto your shoulder as you can get it. Okay, so this is kind of fun. You just practice your scale now, practice lifting. And for fun, I like to get my ankles together and lift both legs up. Okay, everything's up. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, slowly come down, release your left leg, rock the baby. So full firefly as you're up on both hands and both legs are like shing, sticking out like that. Not sure if we're gonna get there today, probably not, but this is a peak pose that you can work toward, right? And that's the cool thing about the repetition. It gives us something different and something unique and safe to work toward to notice our progress. Okay, right arm out. Really important to keep this foot dorsiflexed. I didn't say that on the other side to engage your tibialis muscle to protect your knee. Okay, drop it down. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh. I used to call this posture airport pose when I was traveling a lot to teach. I would do this in the airport and make so many new friends. All right, back up. Scooch. Get your knee as high up on your elbow as you can. Bring both hands down. Okay, lift it up. You can also get into 8-angle pose this way, but we're using Firefly. Release. Ah. Okay, so now you have the option for a second wide-legged forward fold, or if you want to get into a Hanumanasana, you can. Hanumanasana is monkey or split, okay? So split, you can slide one leg back and the other leg forward. If you want to do a half split, an Ardha means half, you can do half split, okay? Your blocks are your friends always. Let's see here. Slide it as far as you go. This is not far at all, but again, progress. It gives us something to work toward each time we practice the sequence. Now, if you're in a split, take a couple more breaths. If you're in your wide-legged forward fold, stay there. And if you're in your half split, everyone is going to switch sides. Slide left leg back, right leg forward, or if you did the opposite, switch sides. One of my studios, my first studio I had in Canada, I used to teach a restorative class to seniors every Monday morning. And there was a lady that came in, she was in her 80s, and she really wanted to learn splits. So I would work it in as a peak pose, which makes no sense in restorative yoga, but that's what I did back then. And this lady, her name was Edith, by the 4th month was in full splits. I couldn't believe it. It was pretty cool. All right, so releasing into your Navasana. Second set of boat, just to work those hip flexors. Think about pulling your femur bones up into the pelvis, guiding your toes wide apart. From that first Malasana, we could have went into crow pose, but we'll do that on the next sequence breakdown, okay? Squeeze the inner arches together. Guide your toes. This is what you want to do for your crow, for your Bakasana. Good. And then slowly fly all the way down to low boat. Balance on your sacrum, rock the boat, it's kind of fun. And hug your knees into your chest. Rock gently from side to side. Yeah, I'm gonna face the other way so you can see if you need to see. And you'll release your feet to the sky. Your happy baby pose. So here, really important. See my sacrum's down. If my hamstrings are so tight that I can't lift my feet and open my legs, then I have to hold my shins or my ankles. But if I'm like this and my bum's coming up, that's a no-no. Okay, we want the sacrum down. Why? To protect the low back, to isolate the stretch to the groin, the inner thighs. You can rock your baby. I always like to add in a leg stretch as I exhale. Inhale to center, exhale to the opposite side. Inhale to center, exhale to the opposite side. And release your left leg for your half happy baby. You could take it into a half Baddha Konasana like this, if you like. Or extend your leg out. You don't have to force your calf to the floor, just let your leg relax. Big breath. Next inhale, bring your left leg up, release your right leg down into a half Baddha or straighten. Okay, bring your left ankle to your right thigh, figure four. Again, because you're twisting your knee, keep your top foot dorsiflex to engage the tibialis, okay? So you're drawing your right knee towards you and working your left knee away from you to feel a stretch through your left glutes, your left hip. You can take a couple of rocks from side to side with your deep Ujjayi breath. Switch sides. So next in the sequence is a bridge or a wheel pose, okay? I love, my favorite pose these days is supported bridge. So I love using a block. It could be any block, just not any hard brick, not a foam block, okay? Those aren't strong enough. Lift your hips up. So watch this if you don't know where we're going, because once you're up, it's advised not to look from side to side, okay? So supported bridge, you can have your feet like this. You could go into supported Baddha Konasana, feels so good. And you'll have to find that sweet spot where you can really let your pelvis melt into your block. So there's two sets of this heart opener. So you could do a bridge and then a wheel. You could do two wheels, two bridges, whatever you want to do. Ujjayi breath. Okay, you can ground through your feet, slowly release down into reclined pyramid pose. Again, we just went into a deep back bend. So neutralize your spine first, and then move into your wide wipers. And then hug your knees into your chest. We want to be safe and kind to our spine. Okay, so in the sequence, there's usually one more of those. We'll pause there for now. And now you want to have your inversion, which could simply be legs up the wall. I like to do legs up with a bridge underneath my sacrum. This, let your feet relax, soften your knees, find that sweet spot where your feet feel like they're just balancing, hovering on top of your hips. Now, if you want to do any other inversion, if you're working on headstand or handstand or forearm stand, you could take this time to do that. So we're gonna have in the regular sequence about 2 minutes here. This pose is really great to relax and bring calm to your nervous system. If you're ever anxious or stressed and it's nighttime and you need to sleep, you could do legs up your bedroom wall. There's a wall here. Just let your feet relax. Your legs relax on the wall. You can open your legs. You could do a Baddha Konasana against the wall. Very restful. Okay, so we'll end this a little bit sooner than normal. Slowly release wherever you're at. And you'll land in your wind removing pose. Always the right leg up first, because we work with our digestion. Right? With the right leg up, you're compressing your ascending colon, the beginning stages of digestion. You want to draw your knee towards your armpit. One day it'll fit. Yeah, one day, maybe. Relax your shoulders, big breath. You're going to typically hold this for 90 seconds each side. Today we'll do a few deep Ujjayi breaths. So go ahead and soften right into it. Slowly release your right leg. Take a mini Shavasana. Oh, so good. Feel the difference between your right and left side, just focusing your mind on your body, on your breath. Next inhale, bring your left leg up for your wind removing, now working with your descending colon. So I always do right side first to move with the sequence of digestion. Few breaths. Go ahead and hug both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Tell yourself, I love me. It's important to say that every day. I love me. Okay, final pose, supine twist. Release your left leg to the floor. Take your right leg across your body. Right arm is out beside you. Now, you don't have to keep your shoulder blade glued to the floor unless you have something happening in your shoulder, okay? So if you don't and it feels good to let your shoulder blade lift up, go ahead, let it lift up. Maybe lift your arm higher, get a whole right side body stretch. I like to do the dynamic movement, dragging my knuckles on the floor. Oh, this is snow angel, half snow angel. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, come down. Or hold any other static variation of this pose. Very slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in. I love me. Take a few wide wipers just to release your low back and feel the difference from side to side. Please straighten your right leg, hug your left knee in, supine twist, left arm is out, check in with your left shoulder on this side. Remember to adapt from side to side. Just because you do something one way on one side, it does not mean you have to do it exactly the same on the other side, right? Yoga is about using the postures to get deeper into your body versus using your body to get into the postures, right? One more deep breath in. Long, full breath out. Turn back to center. Windshield wipers to release your low back. And then hug your knees into your chest. Great big hug. I love me. And then releasing to your final Shavasana. If it doesn't feel good to keep your legs out in your final Shavasana, you can be in reclined pyramid pose, knees together, feet wide. You can place a pillow or a bolster under your knees. You release your Ujjayi breath. You can soften your face, open up your mouth, rock your bottom jaw from side to side. Let your eyes sink heavy into your eye sockets. You're going to settle here for about 4 minutes. Releasing your Ujjayi breath. Let your body go until you hear my voice, drawing you out of your Shavasana. Use this moment to absorb all of the benefits of your practice, some of which may be unknown. Think about surrendering, melting, letting go. very slowly start to bring some very small, very gentle, very loving movements into your physical body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotate your ankles and your wrists. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Take some windshield wipers. Hug your knees into your chest. I love me. Roll over onto one side in fetal position. Connect to the essence of this asana, which is to transform and recreate. And recreate again and again, as many times as you wish. Place your hands on the floor and guide yourself to seated. Placing your left hand on top of your heart, right hand on top of your left. Connect to your heart energy. Take one more big breath in. Long, full breath out. With much gratitude and much love from my heart to yours. Thank you very much. Bend over, bow forward, close your practice. Thank you so much. So that was your 75, flow 44. Let's call this an explore sequence. I'm really looking forward to hearing your feedback on those postures and what you feel about repeating those postures to gain progress and gauge the practice. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your morning or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is for you. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So please drop me a message at hallielove@me.com or through Instagram or here on YouTube. Thank you.